Traditional IRA versus Roth IRA. What are the differences between the two? Today I'm going to share with you guys all the differences between the two, and as well as the similarities, so you guys can decide for yourselves, do you want a traditional IRA or do you want a Roth IRA? I cannot wait to share this with you guys today. Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're talking traditional IRA versus a Roth IRA. And I'm going to explain to you guys the similarities between the two and the differences so you can decide for yourself. Do you want to get a traditional IRA or do you want a Roth IRA? Because almost every workplace you're ever going to work for in your life is going to ask you that question at some point in time when you're trying to set up an individual retirement account. Do you want a traditional or Roth? And it's sad that most people have no clue between the differences between the two, and they just pick one. Oh, I'll just take a traditional or whatever, because they don't really know the differences between the two. So I'm going to explain all that to you guys, give you some examples, give you some context on both of them. So hopefully after this video is over, you will be an expert on IRAs and you will be able to tell a friend or family member so you can help them out, guys. Go ahead and hit this thumbs up button if you guys enjoy this today. Let's get into this. So number one difference between the two is a traditional IRA. It's basically taxes. That's the main difference, and we're getting into some other differences, but taxes is the main reason. A traditional IRA, you can put money into that account, basically, tax-free for right now. But you do have to pay taxes when you start to pull that money out in retirement. So whatever tax bracket you're in at that time, you're going to have to start paying taxes at that point. But right now, it can go in tax-free. A Roth IRA, you pay taxes now. So you pay taxes at your current tax rate, and then that money goes in, and when you actually pull that money out later in retirement, you pay no taxes on it. So that's the main difference. That's a key difference, because you got to ask yourself, are you paying a lower tax rate than you'll be paying, are you paying a lower tax rate currently than you'll probably be paying in retirement? Or are you paying probably a higher tax rate right now than you will in retirement? I tend to be of the belief that a Roth IRA is better when it comes to taxes for sure, and overall I'm a little biased toward a Roth IRA, but this is the main reason, because I believe tax rates will go up in America over the long term. I believe 20, 30, 40 years from now, or I'll probably be retiring in 40, 50 years ago or whatever, that I believe the tax rates will be much higher than they are currently. Now, why do I believe tax rates will be a lot higher? Let's go into I'll give you guys a few quick examples here on why I think tax rates are going to be going up a lot over the next 20, 30, 40 years. So number one is, we know Republican presidents and Republican administrations, generally speaking, they like to lower tax rates, right? Well, the problem is the last two presidents we had in this country that were Republicans were very weak when it came to private sector jobs. Bush Sr. was not very strong at all, as I'm showing you on the chart here. These are the amount of private sector jobs created in the millions. And then Bush Jr. was just a wreck. He was horrible. So, and then basically we had Clinton, very strong, and then Obama was just, good, but nothing amazing. So when you look at that right there alone, the next 4 to 8 years is going to kind of decide whether we start going to more of a democratic type, maybe even socialist system in this country. Because if there's a third president that's very weak when it comes to private sector jobs, I believe a lot of the independent voters, which are the ones you really need to push you and get you to be president in this country, the independent voters are really who decide that, because there's a certain amount of people that are always going to be diehard Republicans. There's a certain amount of people that are always going to be diehard Democrats. It's the independents that really can decide elections. So if an independent looks at it, and if Trump has a weak presidency, that could hurt the Republican Party long term big time, which would then have a much higher chance of tax rates being much higher over time, because generally speaking, Democrats like to raise taxes over time. And then we have this new kind of party kind of forming, which is more of like a socialist type party almost. We saw Bernie Sanders come out of nowhere and nearly beat Hillary Clinton. He came out of nowhere. He was a nobody, and he beat almost one of the most famous people in America. One of the most famous people, Hillary Clinton. He almost beat her, and he came out of nowhere and with very little media attention. So America is definitely pushing more toward a socialist system. When you have a socialist candidate run like that, and honestly, if he would have gotten more media attention, the way he was starting to poll and the way he was kind of rising, he probably could have beat Hillary Clinton, and he maybe even would have been president right now. So that shows. I mean, I've never seen that in my lifetime where a socialist candidate had a legit shot of winning the presidency. So that's definitely a sign that we could be kind of going that way. Also, that will raise a lot of taxes. Socialist systems, you can look around most socialist systems in Europe and whatnot, tax rates are generally very high. Next one up, you see the national debt in this country. The national debt is unbelievable. We're nearly at $20 trillion in national debt. I mean, this is a meme here we have, and this is kind of a funny meme, but it's kind of sad at the same time. It says, "Welcome to America." It's a little baby on the ground there. "Welcome to America. Your share of the national debt is $42,344.37. Will that be cash or credit card?" That meme is like hilarious, but it's so sad, and the number is probably higher now. And it's true. So how do we pay off that debt over time? Probably speaking, we're probably gonna have to raise taxes in this country. So it's a big thing that I'm kind of like, would I rather just pay my taxes now and then not pay taxes down the road, or would I rather risk being, who knows, more in a socialist system where maybe my tax rate might be 50%, 60%, something like that in retirement? That's a big question, guys. So for me, that's the number one reason that I would go with a Roth IRA. And you got to ask yourself, are your tax rates going to be lower now than they will in the future, or higher now than they will in the future? And that's going to really decide on which plan you pick. Let's get into a couple more points here so you guys can understand a couple more differences and similarities. So withdrawal rules, a traditional IRA makes you start taking out basically the minimum amount at age 70 and a half. Now, these rules can always change because Congress, they change rules all the time, but as of right now, that's the rule. So traditional IRAs, you're forced to start taking out at least minimum payments at age 70 and a half. So keep that in mind, guys. A Roth IRA, you don't ever have to take money out of that Roth IRA if you don't want to. That can grow for your entire lifetime, meaning if say you're doing pretty well in life and you don't ever need to touch that Roth IRA, you can transfer that to your son or whoever you want, or your daughter or whatever family member or whatnot. So it's really good as far as transferring wealth. And some people understand that are kind of higher up, but not a lot of people really understand. It's a great way of transferring wealth because it can grow for your entire lifetime until the day you die, and then you can just have that transferred over. So that's a big plus for a Roth IRA. If you're someone that's not even going to really need that money, might be something you want to do. It's a Roth IRA. Number 3, when can you start taking out qualified distributions? That's age 59 for both of them. Age 59 is when you can start taking out without penalties and things like that. So keep that in mind. Number 4, income limits. A traditional IRA, anyone with earned income can contribute to a traditional IRA. So that you can make $10 million a year, you can make $10,000 a year. You can contribute to a traditional IRA, as much as you want. A Roth IRA, you cannot contribute if you're making over $194,000 as a couple, if you're married with somebody, or if you're single, $132,000. So you're really limited on how much you can actually contribute to a Roth IRA. The reason being is I think the reason the government does that is probably because of the wealth transfer thing I was talking about, where you can just have it grow for your whole lifetime and then transfer wealth. And imagine if some super wealthy person was doing $20 million in that a year, $30 million. I think the government doesn't want that happening. So I think that's why they limit the Roth IRAs to $132,000 income, or $194,000 if you're a couple. So that's another thing to take into account, guys. But basically, these are the differences between a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA. Like I said, a Roth IRA is a way I've gone in the past, and when I create IRAs in the future, I'll probably do Roth IRAs just because I feel like tax rates will be much more expensive 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I mean, I'm 27 now, so when I'm thinking about taking out this money, it's 30, 40, 50 years from now, guys. That's a long time from now, and I think tax rates will definitely be higher, especially if for some reason the Trump administration does not do a good job as far as creating jobs and an economy overall. because I do not believe the Republican Party can take a third big hit as far as a third poor president in a row, as far as job creation goes and the economy goes. So this will be something to keep an eye out for, guys. Pay attention to this. What do you guys think? Would you sign up for a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA? And if you have one at your workplace, or you've created one, you're a business owner like myself and you created one, did you do a traditional or did you do a Roth, and why did you do it? I would love to hear from you guys in the comments section. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I hope you did. I hope you learned a lot from it. If you have not subscribed yet, you may want to. We talk personal finance on the channel. This is a personal finance video. We talk entrepreneurship. I'm a business owner. I give away a lot of business tips, and we talk the stock market the most in this channel and how to make your money into money. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.